They knew not whence it had come. But the servants did.
Children! It is true that when Noah received that list of creatures to save, the gays were not on it. Giraffe, gazelle, gibbons, gardener snakes, but no gays. That's okay though, because you know what strong arms your Aunt Nora has? Well, they're from swimming. That's right, before there were pools or lessons, the gays knew how to swim. It is even said they're more floaty than the average person, which is why so many of them are lifeguards. When the flood came, they waited until the water was deep enough, then they did the breaststroke. They swam through a sea of debris until they found their feet on solid ground. About 160 days later, then they all united to form San Francisco. The sluts? No. The sluts are not the gays, and they weren't strong enough or floaty enough to swim, but they had no issues getting wet. So they hid out in the ark's hole with all the food. Every minute or so, the water would come rushing in through the portholes and get them all soaked. And that's why, to this day, sluts are damper than people like you and me and smell like salt. But they had nothing but time and as much food as they could want down there, so they taught themselves how to dance. Now listen to me. Sluts are the very best dancers because for the entire flood, they never once stopped moving. That's why they're so hard to hold on to. Now, many gays swam over hordes of them like water rats, but few sluts could fit in the hole, which is also why sluts love people so much. All those months of dancing alone. When they finally exited the ark, they built clubs. Atheists? Well, non-believers were the great-great-grandchildren of Eve, and they didn't have strong arms, they didn't want to get wet, so they built rafts out of birchwood trees and vines and used them to stay afloat until the day the wind blew all the water away, and they built China. So yes, God did say, drown, but then the waterlogged earth rang with the sounds of the gays and the sluts and the heathens and their booming, rushing louder than a bomb. No. So on Judgment Day, I bet my last penny that they will arrive like any invasive species, in the beat-up bodies of old VW bugs. On the first day, they'll string up rainbow banners from one end of the pearly gates to the others. The sluts will put on their red lipstick, the kind your sister wears, and come night kiss the iridescent walls so that each morning heaven's custodians will have to try and wipe away their marks, but all they end up doing is smearing them, and the sluts will kiss these men as well. And it has been so long since heaven's custodians got some that they will push the sluts up against the red pockmarked sides, and all the sky kingdom will ring with the sounds of heavy breathing. On the second day, the atheists will storm the garden. They will gather up the apples in a burlap sack, hang a swing in the empty branches. They will chat with the emerald snake and argue with St. Peter. They will feast on ribs. On day 3, together everyone will take heaven's main office. They will burn the filing cabinets of sin. They'll figure out the loudspeakers, turn them to full volume. They'll fill the air with their outrageous song, their heathen music, a mix between Kesha and the Village People. The sluts will dance around this slow burn, and the sluts that cannot dance will stand up from their wheelchairs to shake unhinged in the entranceways. The gays will say into the sky, "Nothing is bigger than your body." And the unworthy sinners left cowering on our wasted earth, they will hear this. And on the 4th day, they will come. A tide of failed fiction writers, hand in hand with the actors from Harry Potter, heathens of every size and colors, psychiatrists preaching of a kinder God, the perverts. Clothed in microskirts and collars and nothing at all, they will toss smut and vibrators at the righteous standing in line at the gates. It will rain leather chaps. At some point, the other Christians will wander in, make fistfuls of confetti from forgotten dogma, and when the sun hits the roofs of heaven's houses, the politicians will strip off their muted suits to run through the streets, showing off their wrinkled, sagging flesh, their laughter thundering from their body like a herd of forgotten horses. On the 5th day, the feminists will get their periods. They will smear the thick red all over the unblemished marble walls. The Satanists will follow close behind, finger paint out pentagrams in the blood, summon more, summon everyone. And on the 6th day, the immoral invaders will swarm the cathedrals and chapels scattered throughout heaven like scrubs. Someone will gently take Jesus off his cross, and an old man with a tongue pickled in dust will speak of evolution, how everything here has grown strong. There will be bread and wine, and afterwards the mass of sinners, a tumor of hair and teeth, will fill the chapels up with earth and call the clouds. They'll baptize their bodies in glitter and mud, and on the seventh day, like any invasive species, they will breed. Babies that will mew at their lifeguard uncles and foxtrot aunts, and when they grow into well-dressed children with gap-toothed smiles and quick teeth, God will blink. And the wildlings, instead of climbing the acacia trees, will clamber up the walls of heaven like slutty, gay spiders who believe in nothing but themselves.